Hello, this is Susan Ashley. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Susan&Kassandra. Today I'd like to have a quick chat with you about some of the things that Cassandra has said in these closed groups. And one of them is that, people are going to start to go a little bit loopy, a little bit crazy out in the streets, which is, we're already seeing people just randomly getting angry and smashing cars and things like this that they wouldn't normally do. And remember that this period of grace is finishing. And as a result of that, it means that really any of your, let's say, well, for want of a better word, sins, anything that you've done that's been against another person or against yourself is going to come to the surface. So basically your shadow is going to come to the surface, and that could drive some people a little bit crazy when they don't want to address the dark side of themselves, the unkindness or the selfishness or the greed or what they've been associated with, what they've done for money. Yeah. So this is going to start. It's already started. It's going to get more and more and more. And so one of the things about this period of grace finishing is, and why we have all been really focusing on forgiveness, focusing on forgiving ourselves, forgiving others, breaking the karmic bonds or ties between you and others. A lot of that's been going on for years. And the reason it's been going on is to bring us to this time where we need to be very, very clear about our shadow and where we stand with it. Otherwise, it's going to get really hairy for a lot of people, a little bit scary, because one of the things that she said in one channeling was about Lemuria, and how in Lemuria, when they had someone who committed a crime, they would place them in an amethyst cave and leave them there. And whilst they're in the cave, those people would experience what it felt like to be the victim of the crime and the reason why they perpetrated that crime. And there would be a big healing that would go on with these individuals, so that when they came out, it'd be a huge thing to face all of this. When they came out and went back into the community, one, they wouldn't commit the crime again, but two, the people would be very respectful of them, because it was a very, very hard thing to do, to face that and go through the terror of that. It's like going to hell in your mind and in your spirit, and facing what you've done to others on a very deep, like visceral frequency, right? So you really felt what those people were going through as a result of the crime that you committed against them, but you also understood why you did it and where it came from, and everything would be healed, and then you would be released. And I feel that's what's happening. And the reason that's happening is because, a lot of people are talking about this solar flash, this thing that's suddenly going to happen. Well, years ago, what guidance told me, or Cassandra said, it's a wave of consciousness. It's not necessarily tidal waves or, the planet flipping itself. It's a wave of consciousness. The solar flash is a wave of consciousness that is hitting us, and we are being prepared for that. Our physical bodies are being prepared for that. Our mind, our emotions, our souls are being prepared for that. And some people will choose to maybe not be prepared and go a little bit crazy, and others will decide to leave as a result of that. And that is okay. What we need to do is to, instead of going into like revenge and seeking things like greed, oh, I have to do this so that I'm safe and they're not. We have to address that in ourselves and understand that we are all one, and the highest, purest aspect of the divine feminine is to share. So it's sharing, not taking, right? So when we look at the darkness on the planet, it's all about taking from us, taking in taxes, taking our minds, taking control of our bodies. It's about taking control, right? And we as a collective, need to understand we are far more powerful than that darkness. We've just been led to believe that we're not. So I'm going to do another video about that, but I just wanted to address the fact that this solar flash is actually a wave, and as the period of grace gets closer to being over, more and more people will feel like they're going crazy because they need to release the darkness within, the shadow within, you know, that part of them that has done things they're not proud of, the part of them that has honored money rather than their relatives. You know, a lot of people do a lot of shit for inheritance and to sell things, you know. So all of this is going to come to the forefront, and those people that have done that and justified it, and I'm sure that many of you listening have been at the brunt of this justification. Those people that have justified their behavior because they're an influencer or because they're worth more than you or whatever idea they've got, it's their right by God. You know how these people say, it's my right. I mean, I actually have people say to me, you know, if God really wants me to do this work, then why haven't I won lotto? You know, what can I say to that? You can address that in your own way, right? It's not that God isn't going to give you the money. It's you've got to prove yourself worthy of that money and demanding it as your right before you've even acquiesced to God, surrendered to God, or been of service to God. Well, you're not going to get that money, that's for sure, right? So what I'm going to finish in a second, I just wanted to do a really quick video just to let you know that it's going to get a little bit hairy out there, and the way to navigate that is to know yourself, be calm within yourself. The more that you're calm within yourself, the calmer the outside world will be. And all of this chaos is happening to pull us into the chaos. Right? Don't go into it. Don't acknowledge it as part of you. We can acknowledge that it's part of someone else, but don't acknowledge that it's part of you or part of your world. And I think that's what I'd like to say. So I'll love you and leave you, and I'll speak soon. Bye.